I'm the only candidate which has a policy about how to bring economic opportunity using clean, renewable energy as the key into coal country. Because we're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business. Right, Tim? And we're going to make it clear that we don't want to forget those people.
Hillary Clinton went on to regret that remark, later admitting it was partly to blame for her defeat in 2016, and it could be a lesson for 2020 Democrats. Kimberly Strassel, writing in today's Wall Street Journal, swaths of the country now understand the economic pain of a climate regime, which they watched Mr. Obama implement through regulatory fiat. Every Democrat has vowed to make it a priority, and they have that Obama blueprint. They don't need Congress. Mr. Trump will make clear that the election of a Democrat guarantees an immediate return to struggling rural economies. Joining us now, Beverly Hallberg, Independent Women's Forum Fellow and President of District Media Group, Joel Rubin, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State under President Obama and President of Washington Strategy Group. Thank you both for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Joel, I'm going to start with you because every single Democratic candidate out there is talking about climate policy, and it goes much farther than the Obama era, which could be quite frightening to some people. What do you think?
Yeah, Alicia, it's clear the election in 2020 is going to run through the heartland and run through the Midwest, and climate policy matters there too. The question is how do Democrats talk about it? It has to be about jobs. It has to be about economic security, and there are real indicators that a cleaner environment can produce better jobs. We've seen it even in the energy sector where renewable energy, wind and solar are taking off, and coal is on the decline. So that has to be communicated about why it's good for Americans, voters, in their pocketbook, and there is an argument to be made there.
But you're talking about a whole part of the country that is also very concerned about their pocketbooks. Joel,
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And these are the issues that Democrats ran on successfully in 2018, be it health care, be it the tax bill, frankly, and the tariffs now are coming up as an issue. All of these issues are critical, and Democrats do need to speak to actually the quality of life of people in the Midwest right now. But the climate agenda is not separate from that. This is integrated into all of these facets of our economy.
Beverly, do you have a response to that?
Well, when it comes to the energy policies that we're seeing, I think that the working class and Americans in general want us to have policies that are reasonable. What we're seeing from so many of the Democratic candidates are extremely extreme. You even saw when the Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez first came out with her Green New Deal, a lot of Democrats mocked it, yet so many of the candidates are now implementing some of those policies within their own plan. And the average American looks at that and says, look, I want us to have an environment that's clean. I think there's small steps we can take. I even think innovation leads to cleaner energies that we have out there. But they also know this means their jobs going away. When you take a look at the fracking industry or offshore drilling, so many jobs have been created as President Trump has rolled back so many of the regulations that President Obama put forward. So it seems that so many of these Democratic candidates seem out of touch with the working class, which is a voting bloc they're going to need if they're going to defeat Donald Trump.
But all Democrats aren't unaware of this issue that Democrats have. A lot of longtime Dems have raised this concern, and Kimberly Strassel points to it, and I'll bring up another quote here that she points out. Democrats are aware this is toxic for the working class voters. They need to win back. That's why most lead with patronizing promises to invest billions to, quote, retrain entire communities. But ranchers, farmers, factory workers, and wildcatters don't want to be the guinea pigs of the left's green experiment. Joel, is there a risk here?
Well, there's always a risk if it's framed like that. But look at my native Pennsylvania. I'm from Pittsburgh originally. Natural gas is booming there, and it's replacing coal. And so energy change is happening right now. So asking folks to listen and think about it and retraining, it's not a patronizing policy. It's dealing with the reality as we know it. The clean plants, they work better and more efficiently. So we're going to have to, as Democrats, communicate that effectively. It's true. The Green New Deal as a vision, it is inspiring to many Democrats and many Democratic voters. But as an action plan, it's very difficult to get the hands wrapped around it, and it's easy to parody. And so right now, Democratic candidates are getting stuck in the rhetoric of the Green New Deal, and so they need to bring it down a level as to explain how it actually can, if executed, provide jobs and provide a cleaner, safer environment
Well,
for our future.
if I could jump in here, the reason why we do have so many of these good movements in Pennsylvania when it comes to the drilling and the fracking that's taking place has nothing to do with liberal policies. That it's purely because you do have regulations that were rolled back, that were implemented during the Obama administration. It's been through private industry that we have seen so much clean energy emerge, and that's what we should be promoting.
Well,
And
Beverly, we've seen a
can I just
boom
jump in
in
here just really
renewables.
quick?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Joel. But
Please.
Beverly, don't both parties really have to walk a balance here? Because it's not like there are Republicans who just don't care about climate change. There's a delicate balance for both parties.
Exactly, and one of the things you do hear Republicans talk about more is the fact that climate change does exist. The question is it as dire as we hear so many Democrats talk about? You have Democrats saying that the world is going to end in 12 years and we have to have these drastic policies. The reality is the messaging that's going to win is saying, look, innovation leads to cleaner energy. The United States is one of the leaders when it comes to clean energy in this country, and that is because we roll back regulation for innovation to take place. So there are steps that we can take on climate policies, but Democrats want to double down by taxing people and saying that industries have to go out of business because they're not clean enough. That is not only not resonating with the working class, but it also isn't the way forward for us to have clean energy as we continue to progress in this country.
And Joel, do you have a quick response to that?
Quickly, yeah, we're losing the jobs of the future to China right now because of our policies. They're building the future of solar energy. That's the fastest growth sector in the energy economy. We can't afford to lose those jobs here at home, but we are because our policies aren't matching the moment.
Joel Rubin, Beverly Hallberg, thank you so much for joining us on this Friday. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.